Hey, welcome to the tour of my mini gaming PC setup. This is a portable PC, tons of power for productivity, for gaming, for anything that you want to do. And the best part of it is that you can carry it in a backpack.
Welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. On this channel, you'll learn how to be creative, and I'll teach you the tools you need to create. So be sure to hit the like and subscribe button to help the channel create more content like this. So this is my bro with his backpack, and if you look at it, it looks like a normal backpack. But as you see, it's way more than a normal backpack. So now my brother's gonna show you what's he got in his bag. Normal bag until you open it up. Wow. So there is the small form factor. Yeah. So what do we got here, bro?
We have a Velka 7, 6-liter SFF PC, small form factor. We have a USB-C to DisplayPort cable.
Okay.
We have a SSS T6 Hyperjobs monitor stand. We have a F660C top read keyboard.
Nice.
We have our 17-inch 1080p 240 hertz monitor.
240 hertz. And what size is that monitor?
17.3 inches.
Wow.
IPS. That's bad. And then we have some little baby antennas for Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And then in here, it's an easy access bag, so you can access it from inside, or you can access it from the top here.
Cool.
We have some Audio Technica M50Xs. These are a bit old, but
They're awesome.
good.
Yeah.
8-bit DO Bluetooth controller.
It's a must for gamers.
A Vancer BTL wireless mouse. I think this is like less than 70 grams.
Really lightweight.
Yeah, USB-C cord, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
And all of that fit in the bag, and you could even fit some clothes in there as well.
Yeah.
So what type of bag is this?
This is a Besnfoto DSLR small backpack. I think it's coming in at less than 22 liters, maybe 17 liters of internal space.
Yep.
But this is a bag meant for DSLR cameras, so as you can see right here, they had these little dividers.
Mm-hmm.
The bag came with way more, right? Because with DSLR cameras, you have lenses and all these other accessories.
Yep.
But for the computer part, I really just need these two side walls right here.
And this is a very popular bag. And at the same time, you know, if you're the type of person who travels a lot, or you're like a nomadic type of person, you could fit quite a bit in there.
Right, yeah, and the best thing about this is the quality is very high for the price you pay. So,
Yes.
you know, I've only had it for a month or so, but it's held up really well. And I think similar bags would probably run you like 2 or 3 times the price.
So what is the current price, or what you pay for it?
I think I paid around 90 on Amazon.
That's a great price.
Yeah, great backpack so far. It has an anti-gravity system, so there's actually a bungee on the back, so whenever you go up and down, it actually reduces the weight by kind of oscillating the bag alongside you. So
Sweet.
hopefully it's not going to be a point of failure in the future, but it's pretty good considering like this is not the lightest thing in the world. So.
Yeah, so this is definitely not a common thing for somebody to carry around actual PC, small form factor, and with this much power, which we are going to be looking at. But that's what my brother has in his bag. A lot of power, and this is basically an entire work setup. You know, he can actually work using this and do everything else. This is a portable PC, and obviously this is not a normal budget PC build. Just showing you, judging by the title and anybody who knows about the processor, this is very, very powerful. And so that's what it is bag, and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at his machine. So here's the setup. That took my brother less than 5 minutes. It's just, that's it. Plugged in just for the monitor and for the Ethernet. Obviously you can use wireless, and That's it.
And headset.
Yeah, and his headset. Yeah. So here is the complete setup. So earlier we saw the productivity setup, meaning that you could go ahead and carry this with you and then just plug it into an existing monitor like I have here. But here is the main monitor. So this is a 17-inch 1080p panel, and as I stated earlier, this is a 240 hertz monitor. So this allows you to game at really fast frame rates, fast refresh rates, and at the same time it's portable. And so that's kind of what we're going to look at next, because I think this is the main reason why you would want this setup. So if you want like high performance gaming, then this setup is going to work out really well.
For serious YouTubers, check out TubeBuddy, the premier tool news at geekoutdoors.com. Get more done today by checking out the affiliate link in the description area below.
So this is the setup. We could just go by component. So we'll go ahead and start with the case. This is the Velka 7 SFF PC. This is under 6 liters in total volume. The handle adds a little bit more. But inside this Velka 7, we have a AMD Ryzen 9 5950X. We also have a Nvidia Zotac 3070 twin edge in here as well. So the case itself runs for about $200. It is a artisan case, small batch. It's really just one guy running it out of his bedroom. So it's amazing that he can create such a high quality case. And it's pricey, but definitely worth it. It's actually one of my favorite cases because you can combine and house so much power in such a small form factor. The AMD Ryzen 5950X is definitely a productivity beast. Honestly, I don't need all the power, but it was the first chip I can get, so I kind of just rolled with it from there. And definitely it's a high power chip, so really like small form factors aren't the best use for it because you are leaving some performance on the table, but definitely it can work if you want it to work. There's a bit of nuance around it, but generally we can have it do great productivity workloads, and anything outside of that we kind of downclock it or undervolt it, not downclock, but undervolt it to save some power and heat. And then the 3070 is not the best video card, but definitely it's a beast, and in a GPU shortage you get what you can take, right? So that's what we have. And so the price for the CPU itself, MSRP is at $800, quite pricey. But if you're a 3D artist or need that productivity workload, and definitely worth your money. So that was $800. The GPU itself was close to $560 plus shipping plus tax. Also on the inside of the case we have the power supply, which is a Corsair SF750. That came in at around $180. We have 16 gigs of 4400 megahertz RAM. That's Patriot Steel Viper. I believe that came in at around $125. We have the CPU cooler itself, which is a Thermalright XP90 X47 aluminum. That was probably around $35. And then we have some miscellaneous fans in there. So we have Noctua fans in there for the CPU cooler. And we also have like some small Noctua fans for exhaust. And I would say the fans altogether probably was around $50 or so. And then next we have our peripherals. So we have the Audio Technica ATX M50X or ATH M50X. Pretty decent headphones. Definitely not super high-end audio file, but definitely reasonably priced, is around $100. Plus we have the V-Moda boom mic, which is like another $30. So it allows us to take like a normal set of headphones and be able to plug in our mic to make it into a headset. Next we have the BTL Gretxa Vancer. This is actually a new wireless mouse. And this was around $90. Definitely a really high quality mouse, and I believe it's a clone of a Final Mouse Air 58. I'm not quite sure, but definitely a great mouse. Really good if you're into like competitive gaming, especially FPSs, and if you like ambidextrous type of mice. Then we have one of the most important pieces, the Intehill 17.3 inch 1080p IPS 240 Hz monitor. This came in right around $400 after shipping. And this is a great competitor to the Asus XG17 AHPE. So, both very similar monitors, IPS 240 Hz, portable, but around $160 less than the Asus monitor. And then we have our keyboard here. We have the Leopold FC660C. So this is a top-read board. It's not your traditional mechanical, Cherry MX switches. This actually uses a rubber dome, but in my opinion, it's the end game for me. So this was around $230. And we also have a Bluetooth mod in there, which you can only get from Taobao in China, so you have to go through a proxy. And that in itself was also not cheap. That was around $100. So the keyboard altogether was around $330. And then we have the 8-bit DOE Super Nintendo SN30 Pro type controller. So essentially a Super Nintendo controller with some extra shoulder buttons, and obviously, you know, 2 joysticks right here. Love this controller, super light, super portable, high quality, and fits in your backpack, no problem, and still very comfortable. This was only $30, I believe. So all in all, I would say this setup, everything included, all the peripherals you see here, was right around $30 to $70. Very pricey, obviously, but this is a beast of a machine. Not only do you have more power than most average desktops, you can carry it in your backpack as well. So if you consider the cost of a MacBook Pro at the highest spec, it's not too far from that ballpark. So productivity, gaming, portability, everything you need, all in this setup right here.
So let's take a closer look at the specs, starting with the monitor. There's the 1080p 240 Hz panel, the processor, the motherboard, the memory, and finally we're looking at the GPU. So as you can tell, this is really powerful. And then for benchmarks, I just looked at Cinebench because honestly, my brother, he really doesn't do much else for productivity besides doing his web development and programming. And most of what he uses the power for is gaming, which we're now going to take a look at.
So now my brother is starting up Steam, and he's going to show you some of the game's performance and at very high quality. So the first one he's loading up is Quake. What is the actual name of this one? Oh.
Quake Champions.
Quake Champions, okay.
Yeah.
So here we have Quake Champions. And I'm going to try to get as much of the screen as possible in terms of all the details. But I definitely don't want to screen record the screen and play the game at the same time because that will affect performance. So now he's choosing his character. So we do have a frame rate monitor and performance monitor on the top left. I'm going to try to zoom in there on the top left once the game starts, just to kind of show you the type of performance he's getting. But there's also a frame count monitor right here as well, like 120. But the main one is going to be in the top left.
Enemy has the quad.
Ultra Nightmare. Cool.
So that's today's episode on this mini PC powerhouse. I want to give a big thanks to my brother for bringing this along and just showing us the insane amount of portable power that you can have all in a backpack. So if you actually had any thoughts on this or any other mini but powerful PCs that you have, be sure to leave down in the comments area below. And if you did want to see more of my geek gear reviews, I do have an entire playlist and I'll leave that in the description area as well. So as always, if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to share, like, and subscribe. And if you're a creative geek like me and you want to get exclusive access to more content that I don't put out here publicly on my YouTube channel, then join my Gold Content Creators group, where you're going to get content like this and more for all the creative geeks out there. And the best part is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and sign up for my Gold Content Creators group.